Okay, so managing time on the clock for certification. I think the biggest component of that is this is very much a practical test. The AFA certification is shoeing a horse to a prescription. You have an end goal that you're looking for. And really, that's what we should be doing in our everyday work. If we let toes slide off and don't fix them, and that wasn't our intention, then we weren't practicing for the test. So I think the first goal in preparing for this is in your everyday work, you need to shoe. Your finished product needs to be what you had intended in your mind when you started. So if you ended up full on a heel, don't just say, well, it's support. Fix it. Because if you don't fix it, you won't learn to fix it. And that's part of fitting this into the time limit. The second would be start to pay attention to how long it takes you to do those things in your everyday work. So for me, I know that I need about 6 minutes to nail up and to clinch. And that's because I would time myself in my everyday work and see what it took. So then when I'm working under the clock, I can see if I got 12 minutes left, it's time for me to get under this horse and start nailing up. In our everyday work, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to trim a foot. So that would be my goal on any certification, 2 to 3 minutes. What we see a lot of times is people come in. These are people I've seen shoe, and I know that they can do trims in their everyday work in 2 to 3 minutes that would pass this test. But when the timer starts, all of a sudden they do a 10-minute trim. And that extra 7 minutes, if they were lucky, maybe gained them 2 points. Sometimes we actually see them start to lose points the longer they're under the horse. They're starting to go backwards. What most people struggle on is fit. So whether you're talking about the certified level or the journeyman level, that's typically where you require the most time. So shrinking up your time on the trim, shrinking up your time on the forging aspect, and allowing yourself the extra time to fit is a good, realistic way to approach the test. In your everyday work, know where you would be. Memorize the score sheet. The score sheet's available on the AFA's website. It's in the back of all the certification guides. So memorize the score sheet, and in your everyday work, score yourself objectively. What I found typically when I'm mentoring somebody and have them score their own work is they're usually harder on themselves than I am. So the importance of knowing the score sheet and knowing where you stand is the difference of saying, okay, I'm 3 minutes into trimming this foot, but I can look at this and say this is a passing trim. I don't need to spend any more time on it. So you know you're safe to put the foot down and go to the forge. So then you're in the process of fitting up your shoe. You can look at that shoe and say, it's not the fit I was really hoping for. I'm maybe a little full in this quarter. Maybe my toe, I missed my toe a little bit. But overall, this is a passing fit. And so I'm going to take my lumps here and move on. So it's understanding the score sheet and understanding your times, I think, that cause it all to fall together in the end. And, you know, when you watch these goes, some of the best candidates, they utilize every bit of their time. So even if they are all nailed up and finished with 2 minutes left, then you see the sanding sponge come out and they're putting the polish on it. That's a good place to be at the end of the test.